answers suddenly come to you in a burst of clarity? Or do you learn by watching others? Most people experience both. One common form of learning involves observing and mimicking others. This social modeling is called observational learning. Stanford psychologist Albert Bandura conducted a social experiment that illustrated how aggressive behavior can be learned by watching violence on TV and in real life. First, a group of children watched an adult hit, kick, and sit on an inflatable boxing toy in the shape of a clown, called a Bobo doll. Next, the kids were allowed to play with toys for a short period, after which the toys were taken away in order to build a feeling of frustration. Then the children were allowed to play with the Bobo doll. Not surprisingly, the majority of kids imitated the adult's behavior, hitting the Bobo doll, even using toy hammers and guns provided. While this experiment may seem strange and even a little cruel, there is an important lesson to be learned. We take our cues for appropriate behavior from our parents, brothers, sisters, teachers, friends, and other role models. Monkey see, monkey do. Now think about a time when you were puzzling over a problem and all at once a light bulb went on in your head. Suddenly the solution was clear. Those aha moments are called insights. Wolfgang Köhler, one of the founders of Gestalt psychology, contributed to our knowledge of insight learning. Although his research applies to humans, Köhler observed how a chimpanzee solved a problem. First, bananas were placed high up in the top of the cage, out of reach of the chimp. After the chimp's efforts were unsuccessful, it stopped and thought over the situation. The chimp finally reached the food, not by gradually learning from its previous failed attempts, but by suddenly coming to the realization of the solution. Using a stick, he could reach the bananas. So what do chimps and Bobo dolls have in common? Well, besides the fact that both stories have to do with solving problems by hitting them, they both show ways in which humans can modify behavior. In one case, the method is modeling. After being shown a way to behave, we may employ that method as one that's clearly acceptable. In the other, you need to develop a new way of approaching a problem. There's no modeling to follow, and so a new solution arises and is attempted. In both cases, learning takes place, and you have a new way to solve problems. The two can work together as well. Once you have an insight into a solution, others will see it and model their own behavior on yours.